Good evening, guys, and a very warm welcome to the Heath Ledger State Theatre right here in the heart of Perth, which once again this year is the venue for Glory's Night of Nights, the most glorious player awards. In just a few short moments, flooding up those steps behind me will be what I call the Glory Glitterati. It'll be a tidal wave of taffeta and tuxedos, a tsunami of satin and sequins. And they are gathering here tonight in order to celebrate the personal achievements of our Perth Glory men and women over the course of the 2024-2025 campaign. 12 awards up for grabs in total, including the two big ones, the MGP men's and the MGP women's. Quite an open field, you would imagine, for both of those awards this year. Quite difficult to pick, and it'll be very interesting indeed to see who is taking away those crowns at the end of the evening. Now, before I go any further, I should just mention that this year's Pre-MGP Show is brought to you in association with our proud sponsors, Stone Island. Don't just imagine, get the badge in. And on the subject of fashion, I know many of you are just tuning in for the extended fashion segment. That will be coming up in just a few moments' time. I know it's become a bit of an annual tradition. So if you are interested in the do's and don'ts of pocket squares, if you're curious about this year's signature colours, and you want to find out how not to have a beast with animal print, make sure that you stick around. But we've got plenty to get through before then. So Jack, I'm going to get you moving. I'm going to test you out as I like to do every year. Just going to look at this little spin here. Have to say your agility last year was magnificent, and full credit as well to Tony Barlow. He has sorted you out with a superbly freshly tailored suit. You've really managed to nail that sweet spot between kind of sophistication and ruggedness. If I was to describe you, I would say you look a little bit like a suave Viking tonight. So I'm just going to turn my back on you slightly there. Apologies for that. As we head into what I call the refreshment and recreation area. Now, the theme for tonight's event, fairly vague, it's just cocktails. So I imagine this area behind me shortly will be awash with strawberry daiquiris, Long Island iced teas, that kind of thing. As far as the food is concerned, well, look, I went on a bit of a rant last year. Not going to go down that route again, but I do stand by those strong words that I spelt out about canapes. I'm not a big fan. As a result of that, I've already had my dinner tonight. I'm not taking any chances on being disappointed by the canapes. In case you're wondering, it was kind of a portobello mushroom risotto, scattering of seasonal leaves, murmur of smoked paprika, and just a suggestion of tarragon. But I digress. I do. So if I'm not too excited about the food, the same cannot be said about the music. And Jack, I'm just going to bring you over to where some microphones are being set up here. Now, as you know, every year I get very, very excited about the musical entertainment at MGP. Again this year, though, I'm not exactly sure what that musical entertainment is going to look and sound like, but I can report that late last week, a rumour swept through Glory HQ that certainly caused more than a frisson of excitement in my particular section of the Glory office, because it was suggested that tonight's entertainment would be none other than a medley of Gloria Estefan's iconic Latino fusion hits performed by a genuine former member of the Miami Sound Machine on, of all things, a medieval lute. I know, extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. So essentially, if King Harold had spent a bit less time mooching around in Hastings and more time sort of vibing in downtown Havana, this would have been the soundtrack to his short and ultimately ill-fated life. Now, I don't know if that is actually true, that rumour, but I can tell you this, Jack. If Kiki Hernandez appears strumming a medieval lute on this area tonight, as soon as I hear the first chord of Dr. Beat or Dr. Beat, I will be turning this dance floor into a veritable inferno, and that is a promise. But we've dallied long enough, Jack. Come on. We've got some stairs to climb, which I know you'll enjoy very much, because I need a kind of more glamorous backdrop, really, as we turn to the subject of fashion. So we're just going to come this way. As you can see, this is where the guests will mingle this evening, grabbing canapes if they can, getting stuck into those daiquiris that I mentioned. So here we go, Jack. We're going up steps now. I kind of feel like I should give you a hand, really, but in fairness to you, you're moving pretty smartly up here. As I mentioned earlier on, 12 awards, including Young Player of the Year. Plenty of contenders in both teams for that one as we move into the theatre. We've also got Members Player of the Year as well, Players Player, don't forget those. Golden Boot Awards, we know where they're going. Adam Taggart and Kelly Brown collecting those tonight. As we now move into the theatre. Now what I'm going to do is, Jack, just to save a bit of time, I'm going to talk and walk. I'm going to talk about women's wear to start with, as is the tradition. And basically I'm going to give you 3 subheadings for your lookbook. And those subheadings are, basically the acronym is VAM. So it's velvet, it's animal print and it's mod. And let's start with velvet. Now, there's been something of a velvet resurrection this year, which sounds a little bit like a sort of British indie band from the mid-90s, but basically it means that much loved fabric is back in vogue, very much so. Traditionally worn in black, of course, also lends itself very well to the gem colours, your emeralds, your sapphires, and also to ruby. And given how big red is, just as a general colour in fashion this year, it'll be very interesting to see if we do indeed witness some splashes of red velvet on the purple carpet tonight. Animal print, essentially just a word of warning for this one, ladies. It's a very bold look. It's been with us for a good couple of years now, but it's less is more, okay? If you're going for an animal print dress, we don't need animal print shoes, animal print bag, animal print fascinator. It's too much. You're going to look like you've literally just emerged from the Serengeti. So just tone that one down a little bit. And finally, mod. We've got a velvet resurrection, we've got a mod revival. When I say mod, think Carnaby Street, 1960s, Mary Quant, Bieber, see the shop, not Justin. It's basically monochrome, it's sleeveless, it's big collars, it's playful, it's Leslie Ash in Quadrophenia. Okay, so that is mod as well. So there you are, women's wear done. Should we attempt to get on the stage, Jack? You up for this? Yep, you're nodding. I like that. Okay, so we're moving on to menswear now. Great news, gents. Great news is that essentially anything goes this year. Okay, now in terms of the detailing around that, at the formal end of the menswear spectrum, the tuxedo is massive. Okay, not sure it ever really went away, but it's very, very popular this year. Quite conventional, speaks for itself. The only advice there, don't bother with a cummerbund, complete waste of time and money. Then at the other end of the formality spectrum, the linen suit is massive this year. Absolutely massive. And the great thing, a couple of great things actually about linen suits. First of all, they're already crumpled up, so you can't really get in a mess when you're going to the event if you're having kind of pre-event drinks or something like that. Don't need to worry too much about that. And it's so versatile as well. You can dress it up, smart shoes, proper shirt, collar and tie kind of look. Equally, you can dress it down with a t-shirt, or if you want to look like you're auditioning for Love Island, you can always just wear nothing underneath and team it with some espadrilles. Entirely up to you. But I'm hearing you asking me now, Gareth, what about the colour palette for my linen suit? It's good that you've asked. Very, very good that you've asked, because I think the best way to try and get this message across is to try and get involved in a kind of immersive visualization technique. So I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes for a minute. Obviously not if you're driving, that wouldn't work at all. And just take a deep breath, clear your mind, and just picture yourself, and Jack, you can join in with this if you like. You are just nonchalantly strolling into the courtyard of a rustic Tuscan villa. Yes, that is just the faint drone of bees that you can hear, the tinkling of glasses, perhaps the occasional snatch of Eros Ramazzotti from a distant transistor radio. Okay, the smells, it's citrus blossom, it's lavender, it's oregano. What about the colours? Well, keep those eyes firmly closed. And I'm going to throw some colours at you. It's terracotta, it's ochre, it's russet, it's olive green, and it's all framed by an absolutely stunning powder blue sky. You can come back out now. I'll just bring you out nice and gently, ring that little bell. Hopefully that visualization technique has helped you in terms of your colour palette for your linen suits. Right, I feel, Jack, that I've waffled on long enough. I can see your hand just starting to shake a little bit, and that is always the signal that it is time to go. I'd like to thank you very much for all your fantastic work over the last 18 months or so, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I'd also like to thank everyone who supported our videos this year. Another very challenging season on the pitch, unfortunately, especially for the men. But I hope that we've managed to provide you with some info, some entertainment, and 1 or 2 smiles as well. If you're not fortunate enough to be getting down to the Heath Ledger State Theatre this evening, do not despair, because we will keep you bang up to date with all the developments on the Perth Glory social media platforms. It's shaping up to be a big night as we continue the countdown to MGP 2025.